On the outside, our marriage probably looked pretty good to most people. And we put up a pretty good front. We went to church. We raised some wonderful kids. And yet, there was an emptiness that showed itself in our connectedness, I guess is the best way to put it.
We were 29 years into marriage before Pure Desire. It was disconnected. It was, pretty much run by me. I just kind of dictated life and organized and controlled as much as I could to feel safe in the relationship. And wasn't healthy, but it was what I knew at the time.
There was a secret that had entered into my life that was slowly poisoning our marriage to the point where we were starving, both of us in our own ways. I was starving for acceptance. I was starving to be good enough. I was starving to feel worthy of being pursued or desired. And I grew up in a home that was very performance-based, and so when I would receive compliments from my customers at work or from another woman especially, it fed that hunger. Eventually, God revealed to me that we had seen counselors, we had seen pastors, we had asked friends, we'd read books, we spent a lot of money on counseling of various kinds. We reached the point where God told me that you need to start here. Because although I had justified in my mind that my imaginatory improprieties and fantasies sexually weren't hurting anybody, it was poisoning us. And it wasn't until I started addressing that things they got painful and they got harder for a while, but then they got better. It felt hopeless before, like there's no way out. Where can I talk about this? Who can I be honest with about this without feeling even worse about myself? Because Satan already had developed a pretty good pattern of slapping me around with this sexual sin. And so before, it was getting very difficult to find hope.
Clint had been involved in some groups here at church for a year and a half, and I just was not experiencing a difference yet. I could tell that he was working hard, going 3 nights a week to groups, but it just wasn't, the empathy wasn't there, the awareness wasn't there of how this could possibly affect me. And then because disclosure had already happened a year and a half before, that whole year and a half I just flailed. I tried everything to control the pain, to control his behavior, to control his thoughts, everything, to try to find some stability in my life again. Because, like lots of women who've gone through this say, my world just flipped and there was nothing that was stable anymore. And I did have a friend or two I could talk to, but when Clint said, hey, there's this other group called Pure Desire, maybe there's something there, I was scared. I said, I don't want to go talk to a bunch of women. I know women, and they are hard on one another. They are brutal to one another. There's no way I want anybody to know this is happening in our marriage. But inside, I didn't know what else to do. And when I found out that there was a group coming, I got an email And that's all I had was this email, and Clint was saying contact her because maybe there's something that will look hopeful. And hope that is a critical word for us. I had none before Pure Desire. And I went into my first B&B group, Betrayal and Beyond, and oh my gosh, I thought, I'm not sharing anything with these women. And they just loved on me still they loved on me. And some of them from even that first group I've become such good friends with that I can't imagine walking life without.
The freedom that comes now from being known and being loved anyway, being real, the freedom is indescribable. As far as our relationship goes, it's night and day, in that we have an awareness now, both of us. I feel like I'm much more aware of where I am, if I'm on the faster scale somewhere, or if I start to recognize I'm slipping into procrastination or something, then I can start to pinpoint what's going wrong and begin to work with letting Katie know what's going on, or telling some guys in my group, and then I get prayer support.
Life before Pure Desire was hollow, and it was about controlling our environment. And since it's about being in relationship, in the mess of relationship, in the tides of it, in the whatever comes, just knowing that we're committed no matter what. That's huge. And being able to have the new language of Pure Desire that we share, it's powerful to have those calm, grown-up conversations about sexuality, about wounding, about needs. It's huge to have conversation about, I need you in my life right this moment. And that is so vulnerable to say, because you can say no. You can say, I don't have time, and it will hurt, and we'll work through it. But trusting one another means I'm going to tell you I need. And you may not have it to give in this moment, but it's more important that I speak that and be honest about it, rather than go try to find a way to medicate rather than risk.
Learning to understand that a lot of our behaviors were driven by an unmet need somewhere. And I would choose to go in a direction that wasn't a healthy direction. It might have met a need in a split second or a few minutes of a long day, but in the long run, it wasn't healthy. We've been through some of the courses at Pure Desire, 7 Pillars of Freedom, Trade and Beyond, numerous times, and it seems like as we've helped co-lead or whatever with others, and it's not like you go through it once, you get your certificate of completion, and you're done. You could do that, but you're missing out. Just recently, we uncovered some new stuff. It's like peeling the onion. There's another layer. You go, wow, I never even tapped into that one the last 2 times through this course. The journey has been long. It feels that way anyway. I know up front I wanted a quick fix. Just, come on, give me the quick fix pill, 30-day course, whatever. I'll work hard, I'll get this done, and then we'll move on with life. That's not a realistic approach, and Pure Desire knows that. So they know what they're doing, they know the process, and if you trust it, you'll go from a place of hopelessness to a place of abundant life and hope for the future.
As you just heard in Clint and Katie's story, God is using Pure Desire to help rescue and transform marriages. And we know that stories like this are only the beginning. Now more than ever, lives and relationships are being destroyed by unwanted sexual behavior. Men and women trapped in this pattern can feel stuck and powerless. We know what that feels like. And we have helped thousands of men and women around the world, just like the Davises, break free, heal their relationships, and get their lives back. You could be part of their healing journey too. Together, we could help more men, women, and couples write a new story. Your generosity as a monthly giver makes the healing and restoration of more marriages, more stories possible. So consider this question: what story of healing could my gift create? Would you join with others through giving to create more stories of healing?